Welcome back to Art Club. We've got another exciting day and probably a day that many of you have been waiting for, the day we finally get to use our party blowers. Yay! So we're going to be making these adorable butterflies today, and the party blowers are going to represent that wonderful butterfly tongue that like reaches into the flower to get that pollen and nectar out. Just like that, right? So here is something what yours might look like when it's finished, but let's start from the beginning. So go ahead and grab whatever color paper you would like your butterfly to be, or at least the base color. We're going to use lots of colors in this, right? Because it's butterfly. So we'll want that. Scissors, glue. I'm going to be using my marker, but you guys can use a pencil to draw the shape of yours. You also might want colorful markers to color in our butterfly. I also have a whole stack of kind of scrap paper over here because that way I can use this for decorating my butterfly. But you could also use markers or full pieces of paper, whatever you want. And of course you could always add on some googly eyes too. They're always fun, aren't they? And maybe the most important thing of all, we're going to need that party blower. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to clear some of this out of the way. And of course, if at any point in this video it goes too fast, feel free to pause, rewind, slow down the speed, whatever works for you. So taking my piece of paper, I'm going to fold it in half, hamburger style. So kind of like if you were making a card or a book. And I'm going to cut my paper in half down that seam. We are only going to need to use half of our paper for this project, so we can save the other half for something else another time. Okay, so here's my half sheet of paper, and I'm going to actually fold it in half again, hamburger style. So as if we were making a small card or book. Okay. Now, let's all have the fold on the right-hand side, just to make sure that we don't run into the problem where we draw our half a butterfly on it, and then we open it up and realize, uh-oh, that was the wrong half, and now we have two halves of a butterfly instead of a whole butterfly. So, here's where we're going to want to get out our pencil. I'm going to swap out my pencil, though, for the marker, just so it's easier to see on the camera. So my first step, once again, making sure that the fold is on that right-hand side, and that's where I want to be drawing from. And I'm going to draw sort of like a half of a hot dog shape, like that. That's going to be the body of my butterfly. Okay? Next, I want to draw the wings. Now, you've probably seen butterflies have so many different beautiful shapes that their wings can be. I'm going to go with something a little bit more simple here, but if you want to engage your creativity and do something a little bit different, feel free to do so. All right, so here we go. I'm going to draw up. Oop, my marker is starting to die here. I might grab a different one real quick. Here we go. Up like that, and then down like that. So kind of like as if you were drawing an eyeball, but it connects to our hot dog. I don't know. Don't know a better way to describe that. And then down below, I'm going to start the lower wing, not at the body, but actually kind of like about, well, maybe 1.5 inches, 2 inches in on this wing. And just kind of a rounded shape that connects back to the body. So when we're done, it should look something kind of like that, but once again, your wings might be a different shape. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. And take your time with this. If you need to pause the video, feel free to do so. I know, especially turning some of these corners with scissors, if you're taking your time, it can take a while. So definitely feel free to slow it down or pause it if needed until you've got it cut out. like so. Now if we did everything right and we used the right side of our paper, it should look something like this. And it would be one whole butterfly. I'm going to flip mine over just because I don't want to be able to see the marker lines that I've got there. There we have it. We've got our beautiful butterfly. So next we need to decorate our butterfly. Butterfly wings have something called symmetry. Have you ever heard of symmetry before? Basically what symmetry is if we were to draw a line down something that it looks the same on one side as the other. So like with my face, if we drew a line down like this, I've got an eyeball on this side and an eyeball on that side. Eyebrow, eyebrow, ear, ear. Half a nose, half a nose, half a mouth, so you can see that there's some symmetry there. And we've got the same thing with our butterfly. So whatever we see on one side, we want to try to mimic that on the other side. That being said, when I'm cutting these shapes out of paper, if you choose to use paper, a good idea is to take your paper and to fold it in half. That way, when you cut out a shape, let's see, maybe I'll do kind of a fun little shape like, kind of looks like a pear. Maybe I do a shape like this, but I only had to cut once, and boom, I've got two that are the same. You can kind of play around with, how do I want that to go on here? What looks best? Ooh, I kind of like them down there. That looks really nice. Okay, so if you're cutting them out of paper, whatever shapes you choose, you could do circles, squares, diamonds, hearts, almond shape, sky's the limit, just kind of odd shapes like this, right? Amoeba shapes. This one turned out kind of looking like a pear. So, have fun creating different shapes. And then of course, if you're doing it out of your fun markers or crayons or whatever else you might have, just make sure that anything you draw on one side, so maybe I do a heart over here, that I would want to draw the same thing in the same spot as best I can on the other side. Going for that symmetry. What we have on one side, we also have on the other. So you are going to continue to decorate your butterfly however you best see fit. You can see how this one's coming along so far. You might also want to add antenna to the top of yours. So if that is true for you, you want to add some antenna. Once again, what I did is I had a folded piece of paper. You can see my fold right here. And I just sort of made sure I was on that fold, and then I cut a little section up, turn that around. It's kind of hard to cut such tiny little things. But then when I open it up, we've got our set of antenna, and I can glue that down as well. Oopsies. Glue on my finger, it's sticking to my finger too. Okay, I could choose to add eyes, whatever I want to add to this to make it look just the way I want it and beautiful. Whenever you are done then with your butterfly, we of course want to attach our party blower to it. So we will fold it back in half to do this step. And we kind of want to just see like, okay, we want the party blower to be the tongue. So we want it to kind of line up with the end of our butterfly, where the mouth would be. And then all we need to do is cut some little slits, kind of like that and that. So notice they're not too far apart from each other because this portion is not super big. Okay, so they're just little slits. I'm going to start out with them being quite small, I can always cut them bigger if I need to, but when I open this up, I should be able to then insert my party blower, and actually that looks like it was the perfect size, into those slits. And now our butterfly is ready to flutter around into those gardens and get some food, right? Alright, I can't wait to see how these turn out. Be sure to share them into the Hall of Frame. Come back into the slides and just click on that and scroll on down until we see an open frame. Let's see if we can find one here. There we go. And you will claim your frame by putting in your name, coming up to Insert, Image, and Camera, and taking a picture of your beautiful butterfly. See you next time.